Hey everyone, welcome to Patriot Soapbox. I give you my commentary on the news today as reported by the Wall Street Journal. First up is the obvious of Trump being impeached. And so I was going through my social media feed today and realized there are a lot of morons out there, like more than I thought, because there's a lot of Democrats and liberals who think that impeachment means Trump is fired. No. Like there's a lot of people like, yay, Hillary's president, or yay, Nancy Pelosi's president. No. First of all, if either of those things happen, if impeachment really did mean removed from office, then it would be Mike Pence who's president. And do Democrats really want the super conservative Christian guy who is the sole reason for being VP? Is that Trump, who kind of put off a lot of Christians, would get the Christian vote? That is the only reason why Mike Pence is vice president, because the VP is usually picked for strategic reason. Like, for example, JFK picked Lyndon Johnson as his vice president because Kennedy was from Massachusetts, and so he wanted someone back then. The South was still the heavily Democratic voting bloc, but he wanted a Southerner as a running mate so he could just be sure to get that vote. So he's usually either to balance out the regions, so you have the northern and southern guy together, or maybe east and west, or something like that, or ideological spectrum, for example, for Ronald Reagan, he picked George H.W. Bush because Reagan was conservative, Bush was a little more moderate, so they sort of balanced each other out to try to appeal to both wings of the Republican Party. So Trump was, the bold newcomer, kind of crass. Mike Pence was a more stable conservative guy, Christian guy. So the party suggested that they pick Pence, that the party would stay together. So impeachment, however, does not mean removal. Impeachment means that he's it doesn't mean shit until the Senate votes to convict him. What it means now is that a trial has begun, and that the Chief Justice of the Supreme Court, John Roberts, will act as judge, and the Senate will be jury. And so the Senate could call witnesses, but they don't. But Mitch McConnell doesn't. Chuck Schumer, the Senate Minority Leader, is demanding that McConnell call witnesses, ignoring the fact that Schumer, who was a senator during the Clinton impeachment, he actually did not want witnesses. He wanted to do a quick trial, so he's sort of a hypocrite now. But yeah, McConnell wants to just give it a quick run through, no witnesses, nothing, just quickly vote on it and kill the impeachment. So yeah. But really, the impeachment, Trump's the third president to be impeached, first Republican as well. But and a lot of Democrats saying, now he's gonna have the mark of impeachment forever. And so will the Democrats will have the mark of the first party to impeach a guy over things that are not crimes, which are abuse of power and obstruction of Congress, which means just being president first of all. Because Trump, even if Trump was strong arming Ukraine for quid pro quo, that's nothing new for American presidents. So first of all, just being president, and second, abuse of Congress means he didn't want to get fired. So it's a really dumb thing to impeach someone over, but hey, that's what he got impeached over. I want to also, pretty much every Democrat voted for it and every Republican voted against, except for Tulsi Gabbard of, there's one Democrat, he just voted against one article of impeachment. There are two Democrats who voted against both. Gabbard voted present. And so she actually is probably, out of all the presidential candidates, from what I've seen her in the debates, if I had to vote for a Democrat, or if I was a Democrat, then I would support her, because she seems like the least psycho of all the candidates. She seems a little more stable, and the fact that Hillary's freaking out and calling her a Russian troll does seem a little, I think you know what, maybe there is something to, Gabbard to like. But really, I'd much rather have Trump, obviously. But I'm just saying, if I was a Democrat, I'd support Gabbard. Well, she's not doing so well in the polls, so she'll probably be the next to drop out. And by the way, Hillary Clinton tweeting that no one is above the law, in reference to the impeachment, is like O.J. Simpson chiming in on a murder trial. So, Hillary, you might want to shut your trap. A lot of people saying that, hey, Trump beat Obama in another way because he got impeached and Obama didn't. Obama didn't get impeached because he had a corrupt party and the deep state to protect him. That's why Obama didn't get impeached. And because he just called anyone racist. Because apparently for 8 years, disagreeing with the president is racist. but now agreeing with the president is a racist thing, which I think is really messed up. There ain't a whole lot of other news in the paper today because the impeachment dominates everything. Also, but going over the op-ed section, there's a article about how the FBI, like, after the Inspector General's report, the FBI's reputation is, like, gone. It has no reputation anymore. And so it's asking, what exactly is the FBI going to do to rebuild its credibility? And it's got to do something quick because, I mean, the FBI, like, their total failure in the Mueller report, Steele dossier, all that destroyed any credibility they had left. So they're going to need to fix that eventually. And also, there's another one saying that entitled "How Trump Can Rise Above Impeachment," saying that yeah, he's going to be acquitted, probably guaranteed, and the economy's booming. But that's acquittal and an economic boom aren't exactly enough for re-election because you can't just campaign on your past successes or on your opponent's failures. You also got to campaign on you also got to say, hey, look what I did for a while. And Trump has the benefit of being able to say, look what I did in spite of the constant effort to destroy me. Just imagine what we can do after 2020 when there is no more effort to destroy him. Because, like, once the acquittal happens, then it's like people are going to have like no faith left in the Democratic Party's ability to stop Trump. So yeah, that's what Trump has to campaign on now. And it'll probably be over by January, like sometime in January, because that's when because the Senate's scheduled pretty soon to at least start talking about the trial. And then on the next page, there's there is one. It says there's an article from the editorial board saying, yeah, Trump now wears the scarlet eye in reference to the book, The Scarlet Letter, but now it's really. But really, the impeachment is so weak that, first of all, there's no more credibility left for the Democratic Party's efforts to stop Trump. And second, it's really lowered standards of impeachment so that Republicans, next time a Democrat takes over, can impeach him for literally anything they make up. So it's not so the resistance has pretty much, in their effort to show that Trump's dismantling all norms, they've destroyed all the norms themselves. And so now they're gonna, racket for future. The next, as I said, there's an article basically that said what I said earlier about Chuck Schumer, like he wants witnesses now at Trump's trial, but didn't at Lewinsky's. Bill Clinton's. It starts off with saying, imagine if Lewinsky had taken the stand as a witness in Clinton's trial. Because if there were witnesses, that could have turned the tide of Clinton's impeachment, and he might have been the first to be impeached and removed. But no, there are no witnesses. There are a few witnesses under a private deposition, and he was acquitted. So if they had some witnesses, and Lewinsky could say that she was forced to sign a false affidavit about the whole thing, then Clinton could have been removed. So. All that to say is that McConnell's decision to not allow witnesses could very well keep it an acquittal. But if he gives in to Chuck Schumer, then Trump might be out, folks, unfortunately. Finally, something not impeachment related, because honestly, the impeachment thing's boring. Just get back to real politics instead of a coup. That's not what America is. But there's one about Joe Biden's modest tax proposal. It says that Biden says his plan is more modest than the rest of the Democrats. And then the analogy the op-ed draws is that saying that Biden's plan is more modest than that of his rivals like Warren and Sanders is like saying that Trump Tower is a more modest residence than Buckingham Palace. I mean, yeah, it's technically more modest, but it's still Trump Tower. You don't exactly get more high class, as far as luxury goes, that's towards the top of the luxury right there. Buckingham Palace, sure, it's higher because the Queen lives there as opposed to a reality star / real estate boss. But still, it's still pretty lofty. So here's just some of the stuff in his plan. All right. Well, I suppose I can tell you it all. So it says obviously trillions of dollars more. He wants to spend 1.7 trillion over 10 years on a Green New Deal, 750 billion on healthcare, same amount in higher education, which he plans to pay for with a $3.4 trillion tax increase. By comparison, Hillary Clinton only wanted a 1.4 trillion tax increase. So they're up. So after Hillary lost on that platform, they're upping the ante. That just doesn't add up. But first of all, he wants to raise Trump's tax cuts lowered the top tax rate from 39.6 to 37. Biden wants to set it back to what it was, and he wants to get rid of the deduct. So one of the deductions, one of the things that Trump did to just make sure that the tax cut didn't it lowered tax revenue, but it was made up for a little by the fact that before, according to tax laws, you could deduct state and local taxes from federal taxes. So if you owed $100,000 in state taxes, but $1 million in federal taxes, you could deduct that $100,000 because you're already paying that in state. You could deduct that, so you only pay taxes for federal. But Trump's law capped it off at $10,000, which it benefits most of the country, but the coastal elites are furious because now they can't deduct it in high tax states like California and New York. Joe Biden's going to get rid of that, probably as an appeal to his liberal cronies. Also, he wants to cap the value of tax breaks for wealthy at 28%. Obama wanted to do that, but he didn't even get. But he couldn't even get that done because charities cried foul, since it might affect their tax exempt status. Biden also wants to raise the capital gains tax from 23.8 to that of regular income tax, which would be in his plan 39.6%. And he wants to end some cool loopholes about inheritances, and raise the corporate tax rate from 21% to 28%, put 15% minimum tax on big companies' book income, and double the minimum tax on foreign earnings to 21%. That's up from 10.5%. The reason why is because his raising taxes obviously make businesses pack it and leave, because part of what Trump's tax cut did is encourage people to bring some of their money that was invested offshore back to the United States. In fact, last year's $777 billion was repatriated back to the United States because the taxes are less strict now. But Biden's plan to make him check it out farther. However, Biden's plan to solve that is just tax that stuff there too. So yeah, really, more modest than Bernie Sanders' Elizabeth Warren's plan. But again, that's like comparing Trump Tower to Buckingham Palace. That's all I got for on this episode of Pay for Your Soapbox. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more great daily content.